till we get
with the first guest.
Welcome, Deputy County Manager John Bohde, and sir, thank you so much for joining us on Sports Central.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome.
I'm taking notes. Is that okay? Wait, what's your name?
Mark Jackson.
Yeah. Mark Zimmerman. It's the two Marks.
I'm gonna call Mark right when I. No, it's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Well, you've got, of course, been on the job with Polk County for a long, long time, and somewhat of a newer role as the Deputy County Manager, but that's been, what, a year and a half now?
Yeah. Probably a little over a year now, yeah.
Right here with the Board of County Commissioners, but your roots run deep in sports, and they run deep not only with the county, but with Bartow. Of course, I know you know this guy off camera. He'll be our second guest, Terrence McGriff, the head basketball coach at Bartow High School, but just talk to us a little bit about how your community involvement has led to really your success with the Board of County Commissioners, and how really the two are very similar in the success the county has seen.
I don't know any individual success is my own. It's I would say God has put me where I'm at. Also, I've been blessed to be able to work in the city that I grew up in, and so that to me is a blessing. I tell people, and now I move back to Bartow, I tell people, man, traffic doesn't bother me. I'm 8 minutes from work. I'm 7 minutes from work. I go home for lunch sometimes, several times a week. So it's a blessing to be able to work here. Certainly grew up in Bartow, played sports, but then to be able to work for the Board of County Commissioners. I did step away for a couple years. So I worked here about 7, 8 years, left for 2.5 years, but I've been back now 17 plus years. And just been able to, the current county manager, Mr. Beasley's I've been fortunate to work with him, learn from him, and be promoted by him several times. So that's been a blessing to be where I'm at. And now to move into this role, which the infrastructure side is 8 divisions. And so sport tourism and sports marketing, your group falls into that. And I think to be able to learn. And one thing I did learn is y'all know what you're doing, and it's a lot. Y'all do a lot.
We got him fooled.
Yeah, y'all do great things, and you may have a follow-up question to that. But I mean, to be able to make an impact like you guys make an impact, your whole team makes an impact in this county on the sports level, on just the whole visiting, whether it's arts and culture, whether it's sports, the other events that happen. So, but it's a blessing to be here for sure.
Well, community involvement, I've always been, whether it's Mr. Beasley or previous county leadership, it's always been important to leadership. We say the fourth floor, that's where all the county manager and the deputy county managers are, but to be involved. So there's do your job well.
Yeah.
On behalf of, for 99% of the workforce, on behalf of the residents in Polk County. Ours is a little bit different because we're funded completely from visitors coming into Polk County, not part of the general fund. But the county leadership has always wanted their employees to be active in the community, which we're going to get to how you're active. But why is that important, whether it's to you or Mr. Beasley or previous leadership, to have county employees actively involved in their community?
I'd like to say it's boots on the ground, or you hear those grassroots things that are going on. But I think what's unique about Polk County is that, we're big and we're getting really big with a $3.4 billion budget this year, but we're still small in how I could pick up the phone and call anybody if I need to get something done that's in the private sector. Well, it's because I probably grew up with them, or I was in some Kiwanis club, was in the Kiwanis club with them, or some civic club or something. So, that's the connections I think that are important. And if you grew up here, then you still know a lot of people. And again, I go back to what I said earlier, being fortunate to be able to work in Bartow still, where the county government seat is just a blessing to me. I mean, if it was in another city, it'd still be it'd still be good because it's Polk County, but it's not like being here for me personally here in Bartow. But that's not just me. I mean, we've got people that have worked here a long time. Y'all know many of those people. I think of one that's been here 48 years, and y'all know who I'm talking about. And, when I want to know what happened back in 1980 at this particular facility, he's going to be able to tell me he knows. So I think it's important to be able to have those connections. But whether you've been here a long time or you hadn't been here a long time, being involved in the community is super important, even though we're pushing 850,000 people now in this county.
It's wild.
I know, it's crazy.
Crazy.
It is wild. It quickly.
When I started, it was about 400,000 when I started the county in 1999, and now look where we're at.
Well, weren't you at one time over land development?
Yeah, that's where I came up, was all through the growth management. So maybe I didn't, I tell people they think you're anti-growth when you're in that position, and I said, no, I just manage it. It's going to happen.
That's right.
You just manage it.
Little time in Parks and Recs while going to school. Did
Yeah,
see
yeah.
that? So yeah.
I don't know where you dug that up at, but yeah. So I worked for Bartow, the city, the Parks and Rec department, and I started in the cemetery weed-eating headstones when I was 15 years old. And you went through and you did the whole cemetery. You started on Monday and you finished on Friday, and you just weed-eated all the headstones and make sure you don't hit the flowers. So, but we had.
I actually had that job too when I was in college.
Yeah. So I
Bartow.
was fortunate to work part-time for the city of Bartow all through high school and college. So in the summertime, my dad made me work when I was 15. So that was the trigger. My brothers as well. Yeah. We all worked for the city of Bartow at that time. But I think that's where I got my affinity for local government. I had an uncle who was a city manager locally, and I think I just started to, hey, I think this is what I want to do, when I grow up.
And a student and as a college student winds up catching the eye of Grady Judd, who tried to recruit you to the sheriff's department. So you've caught the eye of quite a few community leaders along the way.
Yeah, so Grady and I go way back. He was a professor at Florida Southern, and he was just a major at that time. And so we established a relationship. We stayed in touch. Obviously, I work with him often now with what we do with the sheriff's office and the Board of County Commissioners. And so yeah, he wanted me to, I was one class shy having a minor in criminology, but I don't think I ever wanted to be in law enforcement. No. Maybe in my next life. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, early on we talked about the community involvement, and I certainly know, and to our viewers at home, they probably don't have a clue as to how busy your schedule is. How do you find time, of course you're a Bartow guy, you already said that, to be the voice of the Bartow Yellow Jackets during basketball season, because it's months, it's what, 4 months
about
or something
4 months,
like that, and there's a lot of games, and Coach McGriff always is scheduling tough opponents, and so it might be a long road trip as well. So why do you keep doing it with your hectic schedule, and why is it important to you to do that?
So I love basketball. I played baseball and basketball, but basketball was really my love. I don't really live my life with regrets, but I've looked back and go, man, I wish I'd have probably put a little more time and energy and effort into basketball. But I love it, and I'll tell you, it goes back. I mean, I'm so thankful for Tom Thornburg and that owns WBF Radio, Hall of Fame inductee.
Yeah.
Tom's wonderful, and it really goes back to, I kind of filled in. Really goes back to about 2014, 2015, and with the Yellow Jackets, I was always attending games, but then I was kind of like, well, that'd be kind of fun. So I can do color, and let's just talk. And so then the man who was doing it, Clint Edwards, stepped away. Tom didn't have anybody, and he called me. He says, hey, do you want to do play-by-play? And I'm like, I don't know if I can do play-by-play. Then one thing, and Coach McGriff will attest to this, high school basketball is super fast. And I think I didn't know if I could keep up with it. And then you got to learn the kids' names. You don't know. I know Bartow players after about the second, third game. I can pick them out where it gets easy. But when you've seen another opponent you hadn't seen, and then you got to quickly so not anything that just something God, blessed me with to be able to pick it up really quick. Nothing I did, but it's I just love it. When you talk about what you do and what you love, I don't get paid to do that, and I make it work in my schedule. You talk about the busy schedule. I mean, certainly work comes first, and there are things at work that will call me away in the evening sometimes. But I'll say this. I mean, Coach McGriff being there makes it fun. If Coach McGriff wasn't there, I don't know if it'd be as fun, but that does make it fun for us, because then I know every year we're going to be competitive. Sometimes I will say things to him like, I think I said something one time, maybe we weren't as good that year, or we had And I get quickly corrected that no, we've never had a bad year. We've had good years. We always have a winning record, and maybe it was year one where you had 4 or 5 wins, and maybe I'm off on that. But no, that makes it fun. That coach is there, and I just love doing it. It's just, it's a total passion I think that I developed as I got into it. And again, love basketball. If you don't love the sport, and I still play, I got about 3 braces, different ankle braces and knee braces that I put on, and icy hot patches on my back, and I still do all that, but it's a lot of fun still, and I love the sport. Watch a lot of it. So at night when I am home and don't have anything to do, I don't watch TV shows except I watch sports, and it's probably basketball.
Well, we're running a little over, so one final question before we let you go. Had you put in the extra effort into basketball that you wish you had done? Are we talking Walter Clayton Jr. level here?
Oh, no, I was never that level.
Okay.
No, I was never that level.
All right.
But so proud of him. Watched him play the other night. So, yeah, you'll hear plenty about that talking to Coach McGriff.
Absolutely.
Plenty about that guy.
Well, thank you, sir, not only for what you do for obviously the Bartow community, but you, Mr. Beasley, and the County Commission for the support. Sports tourism with Polk County, this year will be the 3rd straight year, over $200 million of economic impact, and 350 to 400 sport and special event occurrences in the county. So without the support of the leadership here and the County Commission, we certainly couldn't do what we do. So we thank you.
Thank you for you guys, because y'all are the ones that really make it happen. So, and appreciate y'all, and thanks for having me here.